Hi guys, so today I'm going to be filming an updated date night perfumes for you. I thought I would do it now because obviously we have Valentine's Day coming up, which your girl's doing nothing. Like I'm literally, this video is for you guys, like literally for you, not mi corazon. I'm gonna be with my dog, so this is not for me, this is for you guys. So I thought I would do an updated, like I said, date night perfumes. I've got 12. When can I ever stick to 10? It's just not gonna happen. So I have 12 fragrances here that I would recommend to you girls out there, that if you're going on a date with your partner, your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever, these are my 12 recommendations for a date, for a night, for a special night with your Tinder date, your eHarmony match, whoever it is. These are my recommendations. So I'm really actually excited. This list is quite different to many of my other lists, and I think that you guys are you're gonna love some of these recommendations. So I'm very excited. Let's jump into it. My number 12 is from Chanel. Now this fragrance I think would typically not be classified as like some people's date night scent, but I find this fragrance very sexy, and that's why I'm including it into this list. This is Chanel's Allure Sensuelle. Now, like I said, most people would probably consider this like a professional scent or maybe like an everyday scent, but to me personally, I find this fragrance very, very sexy, and I don't know what it is about it, but I just find it to be very mature sexy. There's a lot of spice and kind of this like peppery spice going on in here. It has patchouli, it has vanilla, it has pink pepper, it has spices, so it is quite a spicy kind of scent, like a bit of a, yeah, like a bit of an oriental spicy vanilla scent. If you're gonna give this one a go, make sure you wait for the dry down, because in my opinion that's where the sexiness and the magic really comes out in this fragrance, is the dry down. So don't judge it on its initial spray. It actually is a very sexy scent in my opinion. So to me, I see this on somebody who's a little bit more conservative and a little bit more reserved and maybe a little bit more mature. I feel like this would be your date night scent for sure. So Allure Sensuelle, I absolutely adore this fragrance, and it's definitely a great one for a date in my opinion. Okay, so coming in at my number 11 was actually, I'm pretty sure, my number 1 spot last year, Dior Addict. I've obviously talked about this fragrance quite a lot on my channel, but if you haven't smelled it yet, please go and like familiarize yourself with this fragrance and see if you like it, because I smelled this years ago and absolutely hated it when I was younger and I liked fragrances like Juicy Couture. I smelled it and hated it, but as I kind of grew into the fragrance world and tried out more fragrances, I smelled it again and absolutely fell in love with it. Dior Addict is a white floral vanilla. There's not like one note in here that is too overpowering. So to me, it is the perfect white floral vanilla mix. There's no, like, it's not too vanilla and it's not too white florals. I also want to say, if you don't like vanilla and you don't like gourmands, there is a very, very high chance that you will like this, because it's not a gourmand. I would never classify this fragrance as a gourmand. It's just a beautiful, like I said, creamy white flowers and vanilla. So there you go. Alright, so my number 10 is Lancome's Oud Bouquet. You guys know, if you watch my channel, that I literally talk about this fragrance in almost every video, and that's genuinely because I adore it, and it is definitely one of my favorite fragrances of all time. This one is the first formulation. I haven't had a chance to smell the recent formulation, but I've heard from people and from friends of mine that it's quite similar. So Lancome's Oud Bouquet, I put it further back in my list, to be honest, because it's very, very strong. Like, it is very strong, let me just say that. So 1 or 2 sprays on a date night, oh my god, you are going to make him drool. Coming in at my number 9 is a newer fragrance to my collection, and you guys, I actually had this as my number 3 and then I swapped it to put it further back, because I don't feel like everyone would consider this fragrance sexy. But if this was my personal list, because I'm doing this list for you guys of what I know you guys will love and think is also a sexy date night scent, but this fragrance, if this was just my list, this would probably be like my number 1 or 2. It is absolutely stunning, and like I said, it's more recent to my collection, and it is from Guerlain. You guys know how much I adore Guerlain, and this fragrance, I am going to butcher the name, but it is Rose Barbar. This is my favorite rose fragrance ever that I have found. I am a fan, you guys know, I'm a fan of the Rose Oud combination, like Lancome's Oud Bouquet, Maison Francis Kurkdjian Oud Satin Mood, all of those sort of fragrances I am a fan of, but this has now become my favorite rose-based fragrance ever. It is rose, it is honey, it is aldehydes, and it is patchouli. Now, I really smell the rose and the honey and the aldehydes like really in the background. If you don't like aldehydic fragrances, there's probably a high chance that you'll still like this one. I'm a bit fussy with aldehydes. I find them kind of hard to like and to understand, but I absolutely adore the way that this smells. If I could explain it, it's kind of like it's a rose, but it's not a grandma-ish rose. It's like a sweet kind of powdery rose with the aldehydes in the background. Let me just say right now, this fragrance smells expensive as hell. Like, this fragrance really does smell expensive to me. If you're a fan of rose, please check this one out. It is absolutely phenomenal, and Francis Kurkdjian is actually the nose behind this fragrance, and I'm sure that you guys, if you're into perfume, know who Francis Kurkdjian is. He created this fragrance, and I'm not surprised that I love it so much because I usually love most of his creations. You guys know, if you watch my channel, I love tuberose. Tuberose is one of my favorite white flowers ever. I think it's so feminine and so beautiful, and it was hard for me to only pick one fragrance that kind of heavily features the note of tuberose, but I went with Datura Noir from Serge Lutens, and my god, if you like tuberose, like if you're a fan like me, please check out this fragrance. It is tuberose done to absolute perfection. I would say that this isn't an overpowering tuberose like something like Robert Piguet's Fracas. That one's very strong. As much as I love it, it's very strong. This is like the perfect balanced tuberose fragrance ever. It is almost got a little bit of a cleanness to it. It's got almond, like a bitter almond note in there. It also has coconut in here, and tuberose and almond, like I said, and heliotrope. It is just so beautiful. Like I said, a perfectly balanced tuberose scent. It's not too overpowering. It's not too heady or too strong or too like mature smelling. It is just absolutely perfect. I would kind of say, if you replaced Jasmine's Marzipan, the jasmine, with tuberose, I feel like it would smell somewhat similar to this. So Serge Lutens Datura Noir, very beautiful fragrance, very like sensual and feminine and all of that good stuff that you want on a date. So, okay, so coming in next is another one from Guerlain, and this one is Spiritus du Bléveny, which if you watch my channel again, you've heard me talk about this one. This is one of my sexiest vanillas ever, like hands down, that I've ever smelled. This is one of the sexiest vanilla fragrances ever. It is not too gourmand, it is not too cozy and kind of like a cuddly warm gourmand. It's a sexy gourmand in my opinion. It's boozy vanilla with some spice in the opening, like you really get this burst of like pink pepper in the opening, but if you just kind of work with it a little bit, wait for the dry down, you're gonna get this incredibly delicious, not overly sweet vanilla with some booziness. It's very sexy. Like I said, it's a very sexy scent. Oh my god, it is so intoxicating. It was so hard for me to only choose like one or two vanillas, but this was the vanilla that I would pick for a date night because like I said, it's not too cozy and cuddly, it's more of like a sexy vanilla. Okay, so next up is Ralph Lauren's Tender Romance, which was actually in my date night video last year, because to me, this one is perfect for a date because it's very sweet, it's very kind of edible. It is so good, you guys, and especially if you are maybe on a budget, this is one of the more affordable fragrances in this list, obviously. Tender Romance is absolutely incredible. It is benzoin, which is kind of like vanilla. It's a very sweet fragrance, so you really do have to be into sweet fragrances to like this one. It has pear, it has benzoin, it is just absolutely... It's delicious, it's sweet, it's very cotton candy kind of like, but not in a sickly way in my opinion. But it is, like I said, it is very sweet, so don't get me wrong there. It is very sweet, but it's not too sickly. Opening up the top 5 is a fragrance, again, that I have talked about quite a lot, but I can't deny how much I love it, and I just wanted to be honest with you guys. And I feel like if you do like the sweet kind of fragrances that I like, you will definitely love this one, so please pick up a sample. It is Kilian's Back to Black. It's honey, some cherry, a little bit of tobacco. It's very sexy, it's very demanding, it's very femme fatale. I would definitely say this is a more femme fatale fragrance, whereas something like Tender Romance is maybe for like the wallflower a little bit more. It's still beautiful and I still would wear it myself, but this one's a little bit more like come here and take me sort of vibe. So Kilian's Back to Black, I absolutely love it. Like I said, it's very sweet, kind of powdery. it's very intense, let me just say that. So you do have to be into more of those sort of fragrances. So Killian Back to Black, highly recommend. I adore it and I get a lot of compliments with that one. Okay, so coming in at my number 4, despite my public video that I did of some men saying that this smells like cat piss or it smells like toilet wash or something like that, I genuinely get so many compliments from men when I wear this fragrance. I have a friend and he literally compliments me every single time I wear this. He doesn't know what he's smelling, but he always tells me that I smell absolutely incredible when I'm wearing Alien. I've received some crazy compliments from this fragrance from guys. So for me, this is just a winner when it comes to a date night. And this fragrance really works magic on the skin. Doing it on a paper strip just does not do anything for it, but when you put it on your skin, it really just transforms and it smells absolutely intoxicating. It's jasmine, it's amber, it's woody notes, but to me I really just get a lot of jasmine, like a lot, with this beautiful ambery kind of base. It's quite sweet, it's quite intense. It's just the most incredible fragrance and I would not recommend it to you guys if I didn't know it did the tricks. Can you see I've made like a pretty hefty dent in that, and this is like a newer bottle. So Alien to me is an absolute masterpiece and to me it's the perfect date night scent. My top 3 is possibly the best top 3 that I have ever put together in my life. Every single one of these fragrances is like a 12 out of 10 fragrance, so you could get any one and you'd be set for your date night. So coming in at my number 3 is a newer fragrance to my collection, and my lord, is it incredible and was it worth the wait. This is from Xerjoff, which is an incredible niche brand, very expensive but very beautiful and in my opinion totally worth it, and this fragrance is called Lyra. I've sprayed it on me today and wow, like wow, this fragrance is everything that I wanted it to be. This is a beautiful gourmand, like a real true gourmand without being too sickly in my opinion, because some gourmands are very intense, very strong and a little bit sickly. This is not sickly. It has a beautiful blood orange note in the top, which in my opinion stops it from being too sickly sweet. The orange note really does kind of like lift it up a little bit. Oh my god, I am absolutely in heaven. This is vanilla, it's caramel, it's orange. It is just so incredible. And the dry down, like I said, you really do have to wait for dry downs in fragrances, otherwise you're not really going to get the whole experience. The dry down of this fragrance is very smooth and buttery caramel and vanilla. Like that's what I get the most in the dry down, but in the opening I definitely get that beautiful blood orange note. It's just amazing. So Lyra from Xerjoff, please check it out, especially if you like the same fragrances that I do, like the sweet gourmand scents. This is a must-have. Like this is an absolute must-have, and I'm so happy that I finally have it. My number 2, you guys, I do not want to over-exaggerate right now, but this fragrance is possibly like my favorite fragrance. At this current moment in time, this is definitely one of my favorite fragrances. I'll put it like that. It's one of my favorites and it's in my top 3 favorite fragrances ever created. I think that this fragrance is just incredible and I'm so excited to talk about it because I haven't ever talked about it before. This is from Martin Michelef and this is Ylang Gold. I know the liquid is supposed to be that gold kind of liquid, but this one's just got the original liquid, but it's the same fragrance, if that makes any sense. So how does this smell? I am absolutely stunned with how beautiful that this is. This is a beautiful ylang vanilla coconut fruity kind of scent. I definitely pick up some fruit in this fragrance. I'm not really sure what sort of fruit. Maybe like some peach or something. The vanilla is done so well in this fragrance. It's definitely not too gourmand or too sweet or anything like that. This fragrance just smells beautiful. Like that is the word that I'm going to use with this fragrance. It's not sexy, it's not a femme fatale, it's nothing like that. It's not loud or too much, it's just beautiful. So Ylang Gold from Martin Michelef. Please guys, you've got to go and try this one. Like coming from me to you right now, please check out this fragrance. It is absolutely, like I said, it's beautiful. In fact, I would love to make this my signature scent, but it's just very expensive, so I'm not gonna do that. Can you guys guess right now, guess in the comments what you think my number 1 is, because I feel like a lot of you guys are gonna know what it is. Parfums de Marly, Delina. So many of you girls have bought this because of me, and a lot of you guys absolutely adore it, and I'm so happy that I was able to put you onto it, because in my opinion this is one of the most beautiful, feminine, stunning fragrances that I have ever smelled in my life. In my opinion, this is one of the most perfect fragrances that you can wear on a date. It's rose, it's peony, it's very velvety and smooth. It's got a little bit of like a fruitiness in there and a little bit of like a sourness. It's just absolutely incredible, but it's very smooth. Like the blend is just top notch. Like you cannot smell anything too sharp or anything too aggressive or anything like that. It is just perfectly blended to this beautiful feminine smooth velvety scent. So that's all I'm going to say about it. It is hands down one of the best fragrances that I've ever smelled and ever worn. It just works magic on the skin, and men go crazy for this fragrance. I'm just going to put it out there. Guys absolutely adore Delina. If you want to impress your guy or your girl, wear this fragrance. Parfums de Rawling Delina is my #1 date night scent, hands down. So thank you girls so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed this. This was a very long video, very long list, but I'm sure that there's something in here for each and every one of you. I tried not to do just like last year's list I felt was a lot of sweet fragrances, but I tried to kind of include like a few different things in here. So thank you girls so much for watching. I will link every single fragrance down below for you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!